tribute to his guru, expressing his gratitude for the successful completion of the ritual. After the ceremony was over, Rambao's wool clothing and cotton attire were preserved so that further tests could be conducted. Rambao is exposing the slightly charred cloth to the fire during the ritual. The wool smudges and burns mildly at the edges. This is the wool which did not burn or smudge when it was on Rambao's chest. The wool is somehow fire resistant when it is wrapped around him. How is this possible? Later on, the same cloth Rambao was wearing during the ritual is finally set on fire. Yet now it burns and emanates the smell of clarified butter. Why does it burn now, but not when it is on Rambao? I needed a scientific explanation. I brought a sample of the same cloth to the U.S. and conducted two well-known, state-of-the-art flammability tests known as FTIR and GCMS. FTIR stands for Fourier Transform Infrared Spectroscopy, and GCMS stands for Gas Chromatograph Mass Spectroscopy. These tests will determine the presence of any flame retardant or flame-resistant compounds in his clothes. The fabric sample was prepared and solvent extracted for qualitative identification of any organic compounds. The test results confirmed that there was no trace of any kind of flame retardants or flame-resistant compounds on the fabric. The fabric had traces of hydrocarbons and carboxylic acid, which is commonly found in clarified butter. Rambao recalls, "I feel the eternal grace and the presence of my guru offering guidance to me. When I met my guru 42 years ago, I never dreamt that one day I would have these divine opportunities to serve people of different cultures and nationalities." In addition to the cloth flammability tests, I asked Rambao if he would undergo routine medical tests before and after the ritual. He gladly agreed to participate. Some holy men might feel insulted if they were subjected to such painful experiments, but Rambao is open to any legitimate analysis. Prior to the ritual, we took Rambao's blood and urine samples and performed routine body exams. We decided to perform several different exams on Rambao before and after the ritual to identify any significant changes. Approximately an hour and 20 minutes after Rambao removed himself from the fire, we repeated the same tests on him. His body cholesterol and creatinine levels were found to be high. The doctors were trying to explain why his cholesterol is so high. The high urea and creatinine values indicate that Rambao's kidney functions seem to be abnormal. In fact, his kidney has very little work to do because his daily intake of water is next to nothing.
The life source energy called prana is the secret to our existence. When prana is properly regulated, no disease can attack it. Imbalancing prana is the root cause for all our problems.
3 weeks later, we repeated the same tests on Rambao, and the test results were similar. Why is Rambao's cholesterol so high while on such an insignificant diet? Apparently, his body seems to be creating the cholesterol on its own. An hour and 20 minutes after the ritual, his body temperature had risen 2 degrees. What must have been his temperature when he was inside the fire? How has Rambao been able to live on only a few drops of water per day for the last 28 years. How has he survived with such a small quantity of fiber in his food? Back in the U.S., I showed this documentary to several independent experts for their comments and objective analysis. This is what they had to say. I asked Rambau what are his long-term goals. He replied, "I have many aspirations. I want to gradually stop eating altogether, making my body as light as possible so that I can levitate and rise above the fire at will." As I evaluate these results, it becomes more apparent that some of the findings surpass current scientific explanation. There are many aspects of Rambau Swami, the Fire Yogi, that are truly on the edge of unbelievability. This phenomenon generates many questions, which forces us to ask, if such things are possible today, what may tomorrow bring? This simple man transcends conventional wisdom and exhibits the limitless possibilities of the human mind, body, and spirit.